As we move towards Pentecost weekend, I am reminded of the words from a song that Andre Crouch wrote. This ain't no new thing. It started in the upper room a long time ago. Beloved, as we look at the history of the church, it was birthed in power. By the time we get to almost 100 years into the first century, around AD 96, Clement, the Bishop of Rome, and Ignatius, the Bishop of Antioch, acknowledge that there's an ongoing fervor and expression of Pentecostal power and a continued operation of the gift of the prophetic along with speaking in tongues. The writers of the Didache and the Shepherd of Hermas are constantly aware of the proliferation of charismatic expressions and begin to indicate that there need to be far more stringent ways of judging true and false prophecy. Irenaeus of Lyon in the 2nd century begins to describe the operation of the gifts of discerning of spirits, the gift of prophecy, and in his church, exorcism. And he warns against false Gnostics that are abusing prophetic gifts. Hippolytus of Rome in the apostolic tradition talks about the gifts of healing and that God can heal without the laying on of hands. But by the time you get to Tertullian of Carthage, a movement has started called the Montanists. And for a while, Tertullian was a member of the Montanists. But the Montanists went off. They went way off. And for about a century, it sent the church on a wild goose chase in ways that deny prophetic integrity and prophetic legitimacy. We would do well in the current culture to go back and study the errors of prophetic function that led to questioning prophetic integrity and brought reproach on the church. It just might help us navigate the waters of where we are right now in the current culture, particularly in the Western world. I want to leave you with a thought from William Seymour, without whom we would not be embracing the Pentecostal movement as we know it today. He said, the Pentecostal power, when you sum it all up, is just more of God's love. If it does not bring more love, it's simply a counterfeit. I hear some prophets prophesying angry things, judgmental things, violent things. It's not the Holy Spirit. It's not legitimate. It lacks integrity. What we need is a baptism of love. May God grant us to refresh our hearts in the true spirit of Pentecost and honor the memory of our Pentecostal forebears with the true spirit of love, not just for our friends, but also for our enemies. God bless.